There is one thing that I have learned in the last almost 2 years of freelancing, which is you cannot say yes to everything. I actually started my freelance journey way back in 2018 when I left my job at that time with nothing lined up and said to myself, this is a great time to see if I'm ready to be a freelancer. Since then, literally from 2018 to 2023, I tried multiple times to get a freelance business going and it never worked out. And along that way, I realized that the reason why it wasn't working out is because I was saying yes to things I had no business saying yes to. And I did this a few times. I had somebody reach out to me on LinkedIn. She wanted to work together. She had an interesting business, but frankly, it wasn't really of interest to me, and it wasn't necessarily something that I thought was a good fit for me and for what I wanted to do, how I wanted to spend my time. But she reached out and she was nice and she thought I would be great. So I said, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, why not? And we talked and I sent her a proposal and she ended up turning down the proposal because she felt like my energy was off, and she was kind of right? Because I knew that my heart wasn't in it. And that is one of many examples of where I should have listened to my instincts and said no to something, but I said yes anyway. I had another outreach on LinkedIn, same type of thing, someone with whom we had a lot of mutual connections and mutual sort of spaces that we were in. And the work he was doing was very interesting to me, very cool stuff that was right up my alley. But he wanted services that I didn't offer. You know, if you've been watching my channel, any of my previous videos, you know that I really focus on traditional public relations and outreach to media. And he wanted more marketing and things that were sort of in a more paid direction that just really isn't my expertise at all. But I said to myself, oh, I'll figure it out. Why not? You know, it's calm, so I can get it. And guess what? I didn't get it. And we ended up having to, cut the contract short, went back and forth about getting paid. It was very, very unnecessary stress because I said yes when I should have said no. And I even had a friend reach out to me who does more content creation, but she had a client who wanted PR. But once again, when I learned about sort of what the work was, I wasn't interested in it. But I said yes, and then I thought about it, and I came back and said no, and then that caused some strain between her and I, and it was just really something that, once again, the very clear theme here was unnecessary stress because I said yes when I should have said no. I didn't want to disappoint people. If somebody came to me and thought I was going to be good at what they were asking for, who am I to say no? I'm trying to start a business. I can't afford to be picky. Telling myself all of these things that in essence were not true and were not accurate, because at the end of the day, you actually need to be extremely specific about what you offer, what your specialty is. I made a video that I'll link to in the description about how to figure out your specialty. You need to actually stop and have a conversation with yourself about what's important to you when building a freelance business. That's my 7-question worksheet that I will also link in the description. 7 questions that you have to ask yourself before you get started so that you know exactly the direction that you want to go in your business. And the reason why I know those things to be true is because when I didn't do them, when I didn't nail down my specialty, when I didn't ask myself those questions, I was getting myself into these terrible situations and my business was doing nothing. It wasn't happening for me. But when I finally had these moments of reflection and thoughtfulness and planning, that's what got me to where I am now, which is a full-time freelance business making 6 figures. It really is important to not just say yes to everything that comes along without doing that planning and that reflection ahead of time.